Red Bull have never won 3 races in a row in the turbo hybrid era. Well, that hat-trick is going to be completed here at Paul Ricard this afternoon as Max Verstappen rounds the final corner. He sees his team cheering on the right-hand side. He sees the checkered flag, and he wins the French Grand Prix.
Yes! 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 What a race! The south of France! Paul Ricard! What a race! In the paddock F1, Greeny and The Cheese. That was David Croft's call on Sky Sports, courtesy of Formula1.com. Max became the hunter, ran down Lewis, blew right by him, beat Mercedes at their own game. Red Bull's form of flattery is to copy the other person. And that's what Red Bull did today, copying what Mercedes has done in the past, going for the 2-stop, running them down, passing them late. Max to the win. Greeny, good evening. What a race.
What a race indeed. Paul Ricard, south of France, I think it did justice today. Whenever you have a race that battles down to the last lap, and we've seen so often where it's 6 seconds, 7 seconds down the stretch, love seeing the battles, love seeing the strategy. This happened the other way around earlier in the season when Mercedes had the 2-stop and took advantage and passed pretty much in the same 2 laps to go and tasted their own medicine. And Red Bull, impressive once again. 2 Red Bull cars on the podium today. Super impressive. I'm impressed. And Mercedes is kicking themselves. That is for sure. Toto was not happy today. And Lewis was that close to taking, the point lead, putting Mercedes back up, and didn't happen. And Max Verstappen continues to get ahead of the field, and we'll see how far he can go as we have a couple of races coming up in a couple straight weeks. And before you know it, you can blink your eyes, and Max Verstappen could be way ahead of the pack.
Absolutely. This is the 3rd race win in a row for Red Bull. First time in the hybrid era that they've won 3 races. The bull is coming. Max is on fire. He would have won 3 races in a row if tire doesn't explode on him at Baku. So Max is on his game. Red Bull's on his game. Mercedes is showing some chinks in the armor right now. Bad strategy call. This is the drivers were, saying we got to, it's coming before they do. They're going to come in. Everybody in the strategists, they wanted to keep track position, and it ended up blowing up in their face. And the move that Mercedes usually does, Red Bull does their Mercedes' move, does the 2-stopper, and run them down. And for once, Max is the hunter instead of the hunted, and he was cooking. And it was just a great race. It was just a great race overall. Everybody was close. The top 4 cars were within, 5 seconds at the end of the race. I mean, most of the race, everybody was within – the top 3 were within 3 seconds of each other. Definitely not racing that we've seen very much. And it was great to see. It was action you could see. And there was action going around throughout the pack. Everybody was pretty close. It was just a great race overall, just – front to back of the pack. Everybody was there was battles going on everywhere. Pit strategies, full excitement, kept you on the edge of your seat the entire race. Fantastic event.
Yeah, probably
what we need more of. More of this.
Yeah, probably competing for race of the year right now. But there's been a couple races so far which look like compete for race of the year right now. So very, very impressive, very fun, exciting start to the season. Cheese, question for you. I should have framed it. The question, Cheese, do you think that we're leaving Mercedes in the rear view a little bit, and for the first time in a very long time seeing Red Bull taking a big leap forward, or is it going to go back and forth and you see Mercedes can go out and have those silver arrow 1-2 moments? If they have it twice in the next 3 races, that could be a very, very different season. So what are your thoughts? What are your opinions? I mean, watching practice, watching these qualifyings, especially over the last couple of weeks, I mean, we're definitely going to see a power-packed bunch of weeks coming up here. I don't even know how F1's pulling it off logistically to get all these races done 3 weeks. It's beyond impressive, and anyone who knows anything about what goes on behind the scenes to put on one of these Formula One races, it is epic to have to put one of these on, let alone 3 of them in 3 weeks. So kudos to everyone on the Formula One team. But again, are we going to see Red Bull just really pulling away here? Or are we going to see a battle? Or is it going to be like more of like, what we've seen for the last bunch of years with Mercedes towards the end of the season? And we're not going to have that fall competition.
Well, Mercedes is showing chinks in the armor. They're definitely down on some pace, especially down the straights. Even today, they were showing a little lack of pace to the Red Bull. Even with the DRS, Lewis can only get 2 to 3 miles an hour faster than the Red Bull at the end of the straight, when you usually get in the 7 to 10 range. So the Mercedes is lacking a little power, looks like, to the Red Bull right now. The Red Bull seems to be a little quicker in the corners. So Mercedes has to find something. Mercedes is showing a little chink in the armor. Mercedes is on the back foot. They're under pressure, and they're cracking a little bit. The strategy that they've always been on top of, they're not on top of. They're fumbling. We got fumbles in the pits for their stops. Definitely usually think this race they were kind of on par with Red Bull, but usually they're about a half second or so slower than Red Bull. And Formula One, that's a lot. That can be a lot. That can be first and second. Those 0.4 in a pit stop. But Red Bull is definitely showing that they're on the up, and Mercedes is on the back foot, and is going to have to find something. The car is not where it has been in the past. Maybe they sat on the laurels a little bit too much, thinking, we've won the title so many years in a row, and ain't nobody going to touch us, and now they're under pressure, and they're stumbling. They're fumbling.
Yeah, it sure makes for what we call here, and the baseball fan would know, the rocking chair summer, when you're up 10 games going into 4th of July weekend here. And that's what it felt like for the last bunch of years as far as Mercedes, and Merc versus the rest of the field. Not necessarily always, Vettel and Hamilton were battling a bunch of years back. We had the Nico Rosberg Hamilton year in 2016, 2017. So, there definitely were some years there where it was competitive. But as far as constructors go, for the last 7 years, 8 years, it's been done by July. It's been done by the middle of July, and it hasn't even been a competition. So at least now we have competition. We have competition downfield as well between Ferrari and McLaren, which Ferrari definitely had a no-show today and let McLaren really, really, really inch up there. I'm sure we'll talk about the ponies in the next segment, but once again, kudos to Max Verstappen. Kudos to Red Bull, 3 races in a row, and winning 3 races in a row, and in impressive fashion. Outfoxing Toto and the garage and the pit there at Mercedes. Cheese, final thoughts about 1-2 in today's race.
Well, Lewis drove a great race. He wanted the pit. Team said nay, but getting to the end of the race, almost winning it on making those tires last was ultra impressive. But you would expect nothing more from Sir Lewis, to be honest. But he gave it a go as much as he could. Wasn't good enough. The strategy wasn't good enough. The team apologized to him, as they should have, because there's definitely definitely should have made the stop. And Lewis even said, let's do it now. He said something on the radio about it, or that Max said the tires aren't going to last. And Lewis said, yeah, they're not going to last. Let's bring it in right now and go for the undercut early. And the undercut was massive today. Massive the undercut was today. Red Bull even did the little bit of a red cut there and came out in front there. So Red Bull was definitely dominating the strategy today, and they well deserved it. And Max was just awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Max was awesome. Lewis was awesome as well. And props to Sergio Perez coming in third, another podium, and a strong result, and showing that there might not be a curse of the second seat of Red Bull. Cheese will be back in about 40 seconds with a little more action. Some winners, some losers. Somebody's going to slap themselves tonight. And of course, are we checking in? Are we cashing in or checking out tonight? One of us did 4.5 times our money tonight. 4.5 times our bets, I apologize. And one of us made absolutely nothing. Which one did what? You'll have to wait and see, my friend. Greeny and the Cheese in the Paddock F1. Back after this. What's up, everyone? Greeny from In the Paddock here. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Please let me explain. It's free. Okay, free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you for free, so it can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many, many more. You can make money as well. Money with your podcast. No minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I wonder why he's so eager to go to the garage.
The garage? Hey, fellas, the garage. Well, ooh-la-dee-da, Mr. Frenchman.
Well, what do you call it?
A car hole.
Yes, F1 lunatics, we are back. Greeny and the Cheese in the Paddock. We are talking French Grand Prix 2021, Paul Ricard, south of France. Let's make a little noise because what a race it was. But before I get to the winners and losers of tonight, or before Cheese gets to the winners and losers of tonight, and if anyone listened to last night's episode, they might have noticed that I fell asleep at the wheel for a moment there, and Cheese had to catch me. And because I was supposed to bring a segment back, and I totally blanked, and he brought it back because he's a champion and true professional, which I mentioned on the show last night. But the question, Cheese, who was faster? The Max Verstappen first pit stop at 2.3 seconds, or how long it took you to notice that I fell asleep at the wheel?
Wow.
Because I timed it out last night when I was editing the audio. So, in the cutting room at the end, I took a look, and
I'm going to say I was quicker.
So you were quicker.
I'm going to say I was quicker.
All right. So under 2.3 seconds. What do you think your time was?
2.2?
Yeah, that's correct. 2.2 seconds.
Faster than Red Bull pit stop, son.
No dead air for you. And this is what happens when you work on live radio for years, where you really have to be with it. You can't just like a podcast where I chop that right off. That 2.2 seconds sounds like we knew what we were doing. Admittedly, now we're not. But but with that, again, just a little tidbit for the fans out there. As we move on to winners and losers, I hope I am not counted as the loser this week, as I shame myself here. But Cheese, winners, losers, what you got?
All right, where to begin? Do we go winners and losers this week first? What do you think?
Let's it's a Father's Day here in the US. Let's go with winners.
Winners first. All right, winners. Aston Martin coming in 9th and 10th. A little strategy, starting on the hard tires, letting them go deep and long. The drivers handled it superbly well. Even though with the pit stops late, they were able to scoot up there on the softer tires, on the mediums, and finish very well in the top 10 for Aston Martin when they were struggling all weekend. Did not expect both cars to be in the top 10. So excellent drives by Vettel and Stroll in 9th and 10th. And the big winners of the week, except for outside of, Red Bull, of course, as we discussed, would be McLaren, 5th and 6th. Danny's best showing of the year so far, in my humble opinion. He was cooking and moving. Lando was flying as he's been doing all season. The only driver to finish in the points in every race this season. So big kudos to McLaren. They are the big winners of the week outside of Red Bull. And then for the losers, it's going to be those bloody red cars because they were just straight trash. Straight trash. Burn their tires up. Slow. I don't know if Pirelli raising the minimum tire pressure for the rears 2 pounds was too much for them to handle. I don't know what's going on, but they were slow, no speed, no pace. Embarrassing for a Ferrari. Absolutely embarrassing. They were showing something the last few weeks, and then you get this. It's not even a 1 step back. That was like a 5 step back. That was embarrassing. McLaren blows by in the points to take third now in the constructors. Ferrari's got some explaining to do and something to find. So they are my big loser of the week.
Yeah, as far as winners go, I mean, at least for me, I think Fernando Alonso scoring points again, definitely always impressive. Always impressive. And, Yuki Tsunoda coming from the back of the pack to finish 13th. I know he's definitely got a quality drive there because the Frenchman Pierre Gasly did not make podium as I did predict, but he did hang on and score 7th. He started 6th, ended up at 7th. Definitely not the best car out there. So those are some of my semi-winners. You definitely hit the nail on the head and stole my thunder with any with McLaren's impressive drive, and of course we mentioned Red Bull's impressive drive today, as well as Aston Martin. And then on the losers, I think you covered it. I mean, Ferrari, what the hell's going on, man? After all that success and all that excitement we really thought we were going in one direction, and it looks like the ponies are galloping backwards, at least for this week. We'll see where we pick up next week, but definitely disappointing. And, that's about it. Nothing really major. I mean, Esteban Ocon couldn't get anything going. I wouldn't consider him so much of a loser as just, a tough day at the track. That's it. That's it, man. That's it. But we also need to recognize the worst of the worst, because being a loser does not justify how poorly you are, because there's losers and then there's...
I need to slap my goddamn self for that.
Well, the slap my own damn self award of the week goes to the Mercedes pit wall. They need to all slap themselves in the face. The strategy team was straight awful. Your drivers are telling you it's a 2-stop race, and this is what we have to do. Bottas got on the radio after Max passed him with, 4 or 5 laps to go. Why the F isn't anybody listening to me? I said it was a 2-stop race. He was pretty fired up. He was dropping the bombs. But Mercedes strategy team in the pit wall needs to just slap their own damn selves, because they get it this week.
Yeah, to not recognize dual math, figure it out. They thought it was about even if they thought it was 7/10 of a second a lap, which they were losing, which they ended up losing a little bit more than that. It ended up, as that tire degradation started going, and we started getting into the 40s, 45, 46 for Mercedes, and you could really see Hamilton's tires going and slowed him down, and Max was picking up a second and a half per lap at one point and caught up to him pretty quickly. It was still a tightrope walk towards the end, when you were in 48, 49. But at some point you realized he was really going to pass him. And Lewis could have held him off. I mean, obviously not. But, his tires were done and Hamilton and Max's pace was well beyond. And great race. Exciting till the end. Exciting at the beginning. Exciting at the end. That's all you can ask for in a race. No safety cars. So no red flags. So, no, we didn't stop. We didn't have to have a restart. I mean, success all around. Great success in the south of France this week for Formula One. No tires exploding. We didn't have anything, right?
No, it was just straight up manage your tires or put the foot to the floor. And just great racing all around. Just throughout the field. Just good racing. Good battles. Just great racing.
Great racing. And it's pretty much the close of this segment, which means don't go anywhere, because coming up, are we cashing in or are we checking out? One of us has got the suitcase out and is folding their underpants and packing up. And one of us is ordering room service. Which one will it be? Greeny and the Cheese in the Paddock F1. Back after this.
My friend is a blackjack dealer, and on his forearm he has a tattoo of an ace and a jack. You see, I'm a blackjack player. On my forearm, I'm going to get a tattoo of a 10 and a 2. And then maybe later a king.
Yes, in the Paddock F1, Greeny and the Cheese, F1 lunatics, welcome back. It is everyone's favorite segment of the week. Are we cashing in or are we checking out? And I know myself. Oh, the peacock strut is on tonight, my friends. Oh, yeah. Those feathers are spread. We're dancing. Send them money bags this way, son. Send them money bags this way. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah, so let me go over your payouts here. As you made 3 bets, I made 3 bets. Out of the 3 bets, I had Max winning, cha-ching. I had Kimi as the highest mover. That didn't happen. That was Lance Stroll. And I had a trifecta of Verstappen, Hamilton, and the hometown boy Pierre Gasly. That also did not come true. So 1 out of 3, not terrible, depending on how we bet. I ended up losing 10 greeny bucks. So I am down at 705 greeny bucks. Not too shabby. You, on the other hand, my friend, doing slightly better. So you had Max for the win as well. You won that. You had Lance Stroll as the highest gainer. You won that.
Outright. Oh yeah, keep it going.
And then there's a trifecta, which didn't pay crazy, but it paid pretty well. As you had Verstappen, Hamilton, and Sergio Perez. 1, 2, 3. That's the way they came in. 12 to 1 on your $20 or 20 greeny bucks bet gives you a total of 320 greeny bucks for the evening. And a grand total of an even Steven 1,200 greeny bucks.
Oh yeah.
1,200 large, and off we go.
Oh yeah. What's that? That's a $500 lead right now, son. Mm-hmm, yes. Oh, the dejection on your face. Oh, he's got his hands in his face. I wish we were on YouTube right now, because this would be excellent television to see. He is stressed. Cash, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Oh yeah, that's the big kahuna, son. That's the sweep. That's the sweep.
Yeah, I said over and over again, you were over. You were over. And way to break out of an 0 for 6 slump. What better way to come in with an 0 for 6 slump than a 3 for 3 day with a grand slam? You got
That's
the grand
right, son.
slam there.
That's how we roll. That's what I've been saying. That's the strategy with my small bets. Small bets, we're just, poking, and then you get that big strike. And then you get that big score, and you get that big pot, and then you can get a little aggressive if you want to at that point. Since we are now in the plus side of the 1,000 greenie bucks that we started with, we are plus 200 now. You are down. Was that $295?
Yeah.
So $300, you might as well say. You're down 300 with your maddening bets. Your madness back and forth. 1 week you're mad. I'm in your head. And I've been in your head. And that was completely obvious, because the last couple of weeks it was super aggressive. Then it was, oh man, I'm losing here. Let's take the foot off the gas and we'll do some small bets. And then this week we got a little aggressive again. And it didn't work out too well. And now I'm curious to see what happens next week. Since we do got the 3-week run, we got the double show at the Red Bull Ring in Austria coming up. Are we going to go mad again to try and make up that $500 deficit? That's right. I'll say that again. That's a $500 deficit right now.
It's not dollars, it's greenie bucks, by the way.
Well, it's greenie bucks.
But
well, you can't spend that anywhere else anyway.
You can do your
That's
dance.
right. I'm just going to strut this, and I'm going to rub it in. I'm going to rub it in as much as I can.
I will admit that right at this moment, and probably for the foreseeable future, you are the current reigning champion and crown holder. I dub thee Sir Ryan the Cheese O'Rourke of the land of Greentopia. May your reign last forever.
That's right, son. That's right, son. The clean sweep. That's a nice payout. That's a nice payout for $60. That's a nice payout. That's a nice payout.
That's a nice payout. That's a good payday.
Rub a little salt in that wound.
I mean, I really didn't lose much. I lost 10 greenie bucks, but obviously you stretch your lead from a manageable 160 going in to a not so manageable 500 or 495 now. So it's a large lead. But it's not insurmountable. It's early. It's still very, very early. And you can make mistakes. I don't see any cracks in your strategy at the moment, but we'll see going forward. We'll see what the next couple of weeks bring. And just like Red Bull and Mercedes, maybe this is like my Ferrari moment and your McLaren today, and you took like a nice chunk of a lead there in the constructors. It's kind of what I feel like tonight, is like the ponies. But we'll come back, my friend. We'll come back. I like playing down. I do. And I enjoyed the fact watching Kimi today. He was up and then he pitted late. It was exciting to watch the back there. But then Lance Stroll was like, yeah, of course I was going to be the top dog today. Or at least have the largest margin between starting position and finishing position. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to you, my friend.
That's right.
Very impressive. Right. Very impressive. 3 for 3. I can't say more. Hail the king, and we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe I'll bet really big next time and see if I can make it all back. We'll see.
Just go for the crash and burn.
I don't know. I don't know about crash and burn. Maybe I'll get ultra conservative. I don't know. I mean, I'm somewhere in between. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, to be honest.
Because you have no strategy. You have no strategy.
Go with
You're
my
like a
gut.
general going into battle, just telling his troops to go, go over there, go over here, go over there, whatever. But I got you. I got my guys lined up. I got the flank coming. I'm taking it from the left flank, and I'm crushing that line. I'm coming down that line, and you have no defense right now. You have no strategy. You're on the back foot. You had no strategy going in. It was just madness to start. I had a strategy. You had no strategy, and that's what happened. And you're getting cooked right now.
I own it. Now it was a manageable 160. Now it's a less manageable situation. So maybe really, really taking a hard look at what I can be doing here, taking a hard look historically, what's going on, and running the numbers, crunching the numbers. I don't want to be Toto Wolff. All right. I don't want to mess that up and not be able to crunch those numbers and figure out if I need new tires. I think it's box time for me.
It's box.
But I'm going to have to take a long, hard think this week. And I hope everyone joins us next week. Where are we at next week?
We are at the Red Bull Ring in Austria for the next 2 races, my man.
Yeah, 2 straight at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Again, what an effort to have to put on and put up and deal with at the Red Bull Ring in Austria for 2 weeks. 2 Formula One races. It is an epic just performance and logistic performance. You have to put these 2 races on. Unbelievable. Formula One, great day today. No tires exploding. No safety cars. No red flags. What a change of pace. Haven't seen racing like this in a while. Maybe the race of the year?
So far, absolutely 100%.
Absolutely 100% race of the year.
Absolutely 100%.
Yeah, it had everything. And like we said,
from front to back, it was just close. Barcelona, when Lewis ran down Max, the field wasn't as close. This week, everybody was just close. Battles galore everywhere. Just the best race of the year, 100%. Race of the year so far.
All right, we'll see you at the Red Bull Ring. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And you send us emails. Bother us, please. We like to be bothered with all your questions. If we like them, we'll read them on the air. If we don't like them, we still might read them on the air. So hit us up. Hit us up as Instagram. Greeny in the Paddock on Instagram. Cheese in the Paddock. Or in the Paddock USA at gmail.com. Hit us up. We'd love to hear from you. See you next week, man.
Next week. Peace out.
Peace.